Well, welcome to the Personalization with Nighttail Bootcamp course. I am Marcelo Lune, the Headless Creator. As always, get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. In today's lesson, Introduction to Customer Data for Personalization, which you can find under the Foundation section of the Personalization with Ninetailed Bootcamp course, you're going to learn all about data types, data privacy as it relates to personalization, how to segment anonymous visitors, what data-driven profiles are, and much more. But before we get started, you know how this works. I'm going to tell you real quick about headlesscreator.com and why you need a free account. Go to headlesscreator.com. I almost forgot my own URL there. Get your free account, and you'll have access not only to this course and the on-demand version of this lesson, but the entire course as well, which has lots of lessons currently. We're going to have, I believe, 5 or 6 more lessons coming up, all the bonus material, and you'll have access to a bunch of other courses, including Content Modeling Weekly, Discover Headless Tech, all for free. A bunch of Headless CMS courses. As you can see, just launched a bunch of them. Sanity, got Agility, Contentful, they're all there. Then we got boot camps. Just get your free account. It's free, it won't cost you anything, and you're going to learn a lot. Trust me, it'll be really good. You'll enjoy it. So having said that, I'm going to go ahead. You know how this works. For the on-demand version of this lesson, there will be absolutely no marketing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the intro. We'll get Asad in, and we'll get started and jump right into the lesson. So I will see you in just 10 seconds. Well, welcome to the Personalization with Ninetailed Bootcamp course, lesson number 4, Introduction to Customer Data for Personalization, presented by Asad Artug from Ninetailed. If you want to learn more about him, just watch the interview in the introduction section of this course on headlesscreator.com. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and bring on Asad. Welcome. And Asad, thank you for being here again, and I'll let you get started with lesson number 4.
Thank you, Marcelo. So let's jump to the lesson. So today's lesson is all about introduction to customer data for personalization. So let's briefly go through the agenda. So first, I'll be talking about why data is important for personalization, types of data used for personalization, and increasing importance of privacy and zero-party and first-party data. Then I'll be talking about how to segment and personalize for anonymous visitor, and I'm going to finish with microsegmentation and hyper-personalization. Of course, at the end of the presentation, there is a terminology recap. So let's start with the importance of data for personalization. So let me ask you a question. Can you start an engine without fuel or electricity? The answer is no, right? And just like an engine, there is no doubt that customer data is the fuel for personalization. And without data, you cannot start a personalization engine. And managing customer data effectively and efficiently is a critical part of creating a personalized digital experience. The true value behind personalization comes from leveraging data on the individual level or building a stronger link between your brand and the customer. Well, then the question is, what type of data is used for personalization? So let's jump to the second section, types of data used for personalization. We can classify data types into 4, zero-party, first-party, second-party, and third-party data. Of course, you can classify data types based on different variables, but today we will classify data based on their collection method. So the first one is zero-party data. Zero-party data is the information that a customer freely provides to a company. It is not inferred from a customer's behavior on your website. It is explicitly provided by a customer, usually with the expectation that providing their data will result in a better experience. Since zero-party data is obtained from a user with their consent and is not from any inference, it is privacy first. Moreover, collecting this data does not violate the user's privacy. and it doesn't have the creep factor of third-party data or information inferred from what they do. This type of data is so valuable because it's not biased. It's the data comes directly from customer. So how can you
Quick
collect
question
data?
for you on that. Oh, there you go. You're going into there. There you go. I was gonna ask you for some samples of where would you collect that. So here you go. I
Yeah,
jumped the gun.
yeah, there are multiple ways to collect zero-party data, and it can be via forms, via chatbots, intent surveys, self-segmentation, or quizzes you are providing to the customer. So let's jump to the first-party data. First-party data is information about a customer collected directly by a company through its own channels and sources. First-party data is also valuable and compelling because it is data that a company has directly collected on its own channels and sources. It's a company's own data that they do not have to purchase or trade with third parties, as the customer has already given it freely through their interactions with the business. However, first-party data also carries privacy concerns when collected without the explicit permission of the user. Companies are legally required to get customer consent before collecting their personal information, but those limitations depend on country regulations like GDPR, CCPA, or any other local regulations. So, how is first-party data collected? To have first-party data, you need to integrate a tool to your website or your own channels that collect and record user information, such as behaviors and actions. So let's jump to the third type of data, second-party data. Second-party data is information that you didn't collect yourself. In other words, you are using it secondhand. It's sometimes used between trusted partners who come to an agreement to share audience insights if it will be mutually beneficial to both parties. So we can easily say that second-party data is some other organization's first-party data. And how is second-party data collected? Because second-party data is some other organization's first-party data, receiving it from some other organization or someone else is the only way to access this type of data. So let's jump to the last.
Quick question on second party data, because I have a specific example I want some clarification on. For example, even on headlesscreator.com, right? When customers sign up for courses and they enroll in courses, that's first party data. It's my data there on my site, right? So that's first party data. But now I integrate with Mailchimp for newsletter, and people sign up to Mailchimp newsletter. Would that be considered first party data in Mailchimp and second party data to me? Or is it because my form basically just stores it in Mailchimp, but it's done through my form on my site? It's still considered first party data.
Like it's still considered as first party data because it's like your data collected through your channels via your own tools. But let's say there is another organization that you wanna
Like a
exchange
partner.
data, partner with, and you have more or less same personas, and you agreed changing the
Exchanging
data.
data. Got
This
it.
type of data considered as second
Second
party data.
party. So if you guys are collecting data that you pass on to me that is not integrated into my system and the user knows that through my channel. So first party data is any data collected through your delivery channels, regardless of where that system resides. It's not about the systems, it's about the channels where they're collected from.
Yeah, true.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
So let's continue with the third party data. Third-party data is information that has been collected from multiple sources, multiple websites, and aggregated into a single data set, packaged and sold.